Okay, that book's gotta be around here somewhere. Oh! Hi everyone! I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince. Welcome back to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. And, man, I have to apologize that I haven't blogged anything in about a while, though. And in case you haven't seen my update video from February 1st, 2014, it's because I had a cell tumor on my left knee that, well, I just don't know where it came from, but I'm thankful to the people at UCI for fixing me up. So I decided to get back to my blog show, which I'm glad you may have seen its logo, but I just don't know if it's a proper intro for me yet. So, what do I have in mind for today's blog? Well, maybe I should put it this way. How about I talk about something that actually, well, happened a long time ago? Back in 78 AD, a famous volcano erupted in the country of Italy. Mount Vesuvius destroyed a city called Pompeii a long time ago. And, unfortunately, now being fans of that disaster, my father and I, well, my father is Italian, so yeah. Growing up in high school, I've been introduced to the disaster from certain documentaries on the History Channel. And so far, when I first saw that, it kind of traumatized me a little bit. My father has been telling me more information about the disaster of Pompeii. And after I graduated from Treacle Hills High School, I haven't heard anything else about the disasters ever since. And also, I've been watching disaster films more frequently, but unfortunately, they're not totally that memorable to me. I have seen films like Volcano from Netflix, and also Day After Tomorrow was more weather disastrous, and, well, 2012 was bullcrap. But my subject today will be something. When I first heard of a movie of Pompeii being developed, I went crazy with excitement, and I had a feeling, which I believe was true, it really was great. Even though I heard it got a lot of negative reviews, but this is going to be my perspective of the film. So, here's to get started. Released to theaters on February 21st, 2014, the movie is Pompeii. Now, just to make sure, just be clear that I'm not going to be showing any clips in the film, nor will I spoil anything too major for you. All because YouTube's a big copyright Nazi, so I can't possibly put any clips in the movie in my blog. So, here's what I got so far. After rising out of slavery to become a gladiator, set in AD 79, after rising out of slavery to become a gladiator, Milo falls for radiant merchant's daughter, Princess Cassia, who is being courted into marrying a nefarious Roman senator. Meanwhile, as the lava starts to flow, Milo must escape the arena and rescue Cassia before they are both turned to ash. So, my thoughts on this film? Well, as I totally suspected, it's a disaster film done right. To anyone who makes a film based, with a disaster film, you have to make it based on an actual event. I've seen other films that were based on real events that kind of did have disasters, but I just wouldn't consider them disaster films. Titanic doesn't count, since it mostly is more romance, and the traumatizing parts don't happen until the end of the film. And World Trade Center kind of doesn't count either. The disaster parts only happen in the beginning of that one. So, but I'm going to tell you a few tips about what I learned about the film, though. The film was shot in Toronto, Ontario, on March to July 2013. And the film is directed by none other than Paul W.S. Anderson, which I'm not really sure what else he's directed other than, well, let me just look at what he's done so far. Like, oh yeah, directing Resident Evil, Alien vs. Predator, The Dark, and Pandorium, which I probably may not have heard of or seen before already. And the visuals of this film are really outstanding. And even the camera angles are really good too, but still for a photo shot like Toronto, that's something I never thought of would actually happen. I mean, for a film that was supposed to take place in Italy. And it said here that Pompeii is the fourth time that director Anderson used 3D cameras in his films. First being Resident Evil Afterlife, then Resident Evil, which was producers Jerry Bolt and Don Carmody reunited with Anderson, and Sony Pictures Entertainment and Film District released the film to become because of their relations with the filmmakers. So now to go on to the cast of this film. Our main lead, Milo, is played by Kit Harington. Let's see. Kit Harington is not totally a familiar face of mine. I mean, he's not, well, a familiar actor that I've seen before in certain films. But it is said that he's going to be in the upcoming How to Train Your Dragon movie. I mean, How to Train Your Dragon sequel this summer. And that seems something worth heart-pounding for. The love interest, and no, I'm not calling Milo a savage. He doesn't deserve to be called that at all. The main love interest, Princess Cassia, is played by Emily Browning, who you may know as young Violet Baudelaire from the Series of Unfortunate Events movie. I mean, to be honest, I didn't even know that was her. I mean, she's grown up quickly since that time. And, let's see, the villain, Senator Corvus, is played by Kiefer Sutherland. Now, this guy is a tickhead in my opinion, able to abuse anyone, even goes out of his way to kill anyone and force anyone to do whatever he wants. But his villain death really was epic near the end of the movie. And another character I want to talk about is Atticus, played by Edouard Akinoy Abaj, or I really don't know how it's really pronounced. However, you may know him as Lochna from The Mummy Returns, or G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra as Heavy Duty. It's like, this guy is my favorite character in the whole movie. I mean, he's a really tough guy and a really badass warrior. So, let's see, okay, my final words on this film. Overall, like I said before, Pompeii is a disaster film done right. And although some parts of the film made me a little bit frightened and a little bit tearful, this is probably a must-see film with anyone who probably used to live in Italy, or anyone who's a fan of the actual event and from their history stories. So I would probably give this film a rating of probably 80%. Yeah, that should do it. Well, that's all I have to say about this film. Be sure to join me next time for my next blog. And hopefully my next blog will be a really surprise to all of you. And thanks for having me back today. Mustang Power!